Welcome back. Today is episode 2, or day 2 of Choreography, building our 2025 Pro Spotlight routine. And the reason you're seeing this a year late, essentially, is because I wanted to protect our work while we were actively competing with this routine. So that's why you're seeing it later after the season has ended for 2025, so that I can share it with you now. And if you haven't seen the first episode, you can always go back and watch that. There should be a link below, or you can find the playlist on my main YouTube channel. So with these videos, I have to mute any sections that have music playing in the ballroom, whether that's my music for our routine, or another student's music that they're practicing to, just because I don't have privileges to share that copyrighted music, and I would love to monetize the channel eventually, so that's why I don't have any copyrighted music in here. So I do a lot of like jumping in and explaining, or voiceovers, and then there will be sections where there isn't music playing in the studio and you can hear us talking. So it kind of goes back and forth between those. So in making these videos and in editing the video for episode 1 and now this one, and I'm watching back as Robert and Brigette are coaching me, or as Brigette is coaching both of us, because she's the third party. She's removed from the dance, so she can get an outside perspective of what's happening. Something that has come to mind is that in dance, with dance lessons, the client is usually wrong and the dance teacher is usually right. And that's something that can be very difficult, especially for new dancers. And even as an experienced dancer, there are some days where it is hard to hear feedback and hear criticism and corrections. Just because already my emotional reserves maybe are lower that day, or I'm tired, or I'm hungry, or I'm dehydrated, all those things that can make us more susceptible to experiencing negative emotion. And as I'm watching this, I'm seeing Brigette give us feedback, both me and Robert, that oh, hey, when you're doing this, you got to make sure to do that, and you got to make sure to do this. And Robert and I have both done these moves hundreds and hundreds of times in different contexts. But in this context, as we're building the routine, as Brigette is that outside party, she can see that, okay, where we have everything kind of in our mind and in our body coordinated so far, but then there's a piece that I don't want to say faking it, we're not doing it as full out because we're so focused on the pieces before that, making sure we're hitting the music on time, making sure we're communicating in our connection, that we're doing the movement properly, that we know where we're going, what steps we're taking. There's just so much to think about and coordinate all at one time, that as that outside person, it's a lot easier to see because she's not focusing on all those things. She's only focusing visually and hearing. Whereas when you're the one dancing, you're focusing visually on your partner, what you look like yourself. Like if I'm doing some sort of hand motion in front of me, I can see my own hand, I can see him. Focusing on how we interact together. There's just a lot more to it when you're the one dancing versus when you're the one that's back and observing. So I guess part of my desire in wanting to show this is also to serve as inspiration for people who maybe haven't danced before and who want to dance. So I share this because that criticism, the critique, being wrong, it never ends as a dancer. That will always be part of the experience of learning and growing and becoming an even better dancer, no matter what level you're at, because there's no end to it. even the most successful dancers, there's always something new that they could learn in or grow in. So it's definitely, dance is definitely something that is personal growth oriented, like, or it's not even oriented, like it's fundamental to dance, is you are going to personally grow and receive correction and have to change and have to mold and have to pay attention to all these different things. That's just a part of the process that will never be unentwined from being a dancer. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions about that. I saw another thing that kind of has been stewing in my mind about this is I saw a reel recently about this as well, where a dancer was saying, you know, all these bros think they're so tough sitting in a cold plunge for 3 minutes. Try a dance class and being wrong for an hour. So it definitely can challenge the ego and your self-esteem, and you have to kind of be pliable in your sense of self in a way. Like, you still have your sense of self, but you have to be flexible. You can't be rigid if you really want to be a good dancer and if you want to grow and improve. Yeah, okay, so I guess let's get to the video. I think that's all I wanted to say to start. Is there anything else? I'm looking at my notes. I think that's it. Let's hop to it. Okay, so there's one other piece that I wanted to mention that I forgot, which is that when you're focusing on coordinating all these different things, like being on time, moving your body in the right way, paying attention to your partner, having good connection, it's just like a lot. So when you're focusing on all these things, especially if it's fast moving, like if you're working to a fast song, that makes it even harder versus like a slow song. So when you have all these things going on, sometimes a dancer, myself included, can be so convinced that you're doing it right. Like, it feels like you're doing it right. But then the teacher gives correction. The dance teacher tells you, no, you're still not doing it right. This is what needs to change, whatever. They give you feedback. And sometimes the teacher will have to physically, like, touch you, change you, move your body for your brain and body to connect. So I actually just saw this happen recently in the studio, where a dancer was getting a number of pieces of little feedback to kind of clean up and fine tune, like maybe this 8-count section of a dance. And they were missing the hand on the hip for part of the styling. And the teacher had to come over while they were set waiting to start and had to physically, like, put the dancer's hand on their own hip because they were missing that mind-body connection. And it happens so often to me too, because again, there's just so much to focus on and you think you're doing it, but you're not. And when they tell you and then you try to do it the other way, sometimes it feels wrong. So it can be kind of tricky, like your mind is playing tricks on you. But it's not. It's just that, again, there's so many things to coordinate. This, I think, is one of the reasons why dancing is like the #1 brain health protective measure, because it requires the brain to do so much at one time. So that was the other piece, is that when we sometimes are so convinced that we're doing it right and it feels right and we're dancing it full out, it can be totally, totally wrong. Just because, again, we miss that, that mind-body connection for that. So that's the other thing, that if you're experiencing this as a new dancer, as an experienced dancer, totally normal. So don't freak out about that. It's okay. It happens to all of us. Yeah. Okay, so now we can actually get to the video for day 2 of choreography. Okay, so here we're starting our practice for the day. Essentially, we just watched the video from last practice and talked it out, and then here we go through the routine and we just walk it. We count it out. We're saying like each move to each other, like, oh, then we do this, then we do the ride, then we do the da 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 da. So just kind of recounting the routine so far to make sure that it's fresh in our minds before we try to dance it out to music.
Yeah. And then after that, there's 3 counts of 8 where there's not really a big hit or word that I think we need to like do. I think we should just dance.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can just put it on and see what feels good.
Next, after we walk the routine, we practice it to music. We don't go full out or anything. We just want to make sure that we're hitting the music on time and that the moves, that we think the moves still fit with the sounds of the music, of the song, the lyrics, that it still fits. Because sometimes we'll choreograph something and then we'll go back and dance it later and we'll be like, oh, actually we don't like this. So it's a check for us to see, do we like what we did last time?
The way you're set up when she turns, is there any way you could just like start like not do as many turns as she's doing, but yeah.
Yeah, that'd be better because we both hit the same time.
Yeah. And then I think it just stops.
Yeah.
Because I think if you hit 1, 2 maybe before you go. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Is it weird to stop like that?
So like this?
Or what, you can start, whatever way feels normal, but I feel like you don't have to move on the 1, 2. I almost feel like it would be cool to like hold it. Yeah. And then that's what I feel like. Because I think the turn is so cool.
So that's why they tell me this, because sometimes it feels like that. Nothing is wrong with me. And then you do a move, I was like, holy shit. So it's, like, tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow going to be the yes.
It's like 1.5.
Monday morning, I have 1 minute after 40.
And plan however you want, like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
even if it's not
Do
20
what's
minutes, whatever,
natural.
yeah, come to it. Exactly.
Let's see what they do. But I don't know. For right now,
I think before I wanted to go like that. I wanted to keep it going.
That's
Yeah.
why I like the, do that again, I did. And then again, it was like 30 points. Yeah.
You could always land here and then do that. You could always, like land here and then come around and then go. Like how many
Yeah.
So in this section, I'm trying to figure out how I want to land after I do those 2 turns. And I don't know what's coming next, so it's hard for me to decide how I want to land. And I also don't have full control of this yet. And knowing where I'm going next does help with that. But essentially I end up asking Brigette, like, hey, can we just move on? Because I need to know what's coming next. And I definitely need to practice that more to get more stability in myself so that I'm not falling out of those turns.
right side to the previous step. So 1, 2, 3. Right. Then we do the back break.
I don't have to go
This
as
is
close
also
to
the
it.
pre-rotation.
Yeah, I think she needs space.
Yeah, she does as well.
That is like over the now,
Yeah,
you
okay.
need to turn your body.
What's after that, so we know?
It's just a tall glass of water.
Can we just move on from there and I'll practice more?
Yeah. Okay. So the turn is 7, 8. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. And I was thinking if we did whether you did a run or whatever.
What are we doing here?
And then you could come forward 3, 4.
I knew it.
Okay. Do you want me to just play
Yes,
that
just
section?
play.
We'll just listen. Just vibe it and then see what feels good.
Just vibe.
So like following right.
So like no! It's on the 3 and not 1.
So now that we're moving on to the next section, we want to see what we hear in the music and what we want to add next. So essentially what we do is we play the music back just a little bit from where we ended, and then just social dance from there to see if we hear anything that we like. So when Brigette says just vibe it, that's what she's meaning, just to social dance and kind of see what happens.
Going to the, if he gives you a shot of whiskey, it's gonna go straight to if you're sexy and you know it, make it clap. Right there.
Oh.
So, I like the moonwalk back with the head flip because that's if you're sexy and you know it, make it clap. Well, that's where it's gonna say that. It's gonna say it right now, but that's the transition.
Yeah, I like the moonwalk.
The moonwalk back was good. I like the first part. There was a slide. You went 3, 4. The first part was a 3, 4, 5, and we did a slide there. That felt good. And then I like the last 8 counts with the
The last
moonwalk.
part was this.
So now we're just trying out that piece that Brigette said she liked, which is this moonwalk with the hair flip, because right there the lyrics will say throw it back, and then it'll say if you sexy and you know it, make it clap. So we don't have the music fully cut yet. And then here I just suggested that we add in a sugar push because we want to make sure that we're adding enough West Coast swing content. So prior to this, we had talked about making sure that we're hitting, you know, all the basics in West Coast swing so that the judges clearly know that that's the dance that we're dancing to. Whenever you're doing like a showcase routine or a spotlight routine, it's really important that the judges are clear on what dance you're dancing. You don't want them to be confused. So here we're just kind of playing around with how can we add in more swing, but also how can we hit that lyric at the end that says throw it back, and then we want to do something to the make it clap section or piece that comes after that. Another thing about dance and building routines to be aware of is that it is a piece of art, sort of like a painter, you know, creating an artwork, a piece of art on canvas, or a sculptor. It takes many hours, and there's a lot of back and forth and brainstorming of ideas, and you know, trying things to see if they fit to the music. And you know, when we first try it, it may not be to speed, so we might have to slow it down or speed it up. So there's a lot of going back and forth with this, and it does take time. So here, after I do the hair flip, it says something about being sexy, which is the body roll, and then there's the make it clap. So I can't remember who suggested it. It was probably me suggesting the, what are those called? Apple Jacks. I almost said flapjacks, but they're Apple Jacks because Robert doesn't do this move generally. You can see here, I'm teaching him how to do it, so it was probably something I suggested. So essentially, you have one toe up and the other heel up, and you go back and forth, alternating between opposite, like toe or ball and heel of the foot. So now we've tried it to music a couple times, and we're just running it through once more to see that everything is working, and then we're gonna move on to the make it clap, which is where we see if the Apple Jacks match with the music or not. So we're just listening for the music here, trying to see if it fits. And Robert is suggesting that maybe I do the Apple Jacks first. Like he passes it to me and then I pass it back and he does it. So maybe like taking turns doing the Apple Jacks instead of us doing them together or like right next to each other. So here again, we're playing it to music, but it's not quite jiving. And what we're hearing is that the make it clap sound is faster. So I asked them if I can do like quick chest pumps instead, because the Apple Jacks are just, they're too slow. And this chest pump thing, the quick like jivey chest pump is something that ballroom dancers do a lot actually in like samba routines. And then the lyrics say, throw it, throw it. So we're kind of having this like battle now where he throws it and then I throw it. So we're just trying to coordinate that. It's fast. It feels really fast because we've never done it before, which is why you can see it looks kind of shaky and not as clear, and like we're maybe missing it. So it's just because it's new and it takes time for us to, you know, get used to that and commit it to memory and to muscle memory. And we just realized it says something about Jesus after that. So he's gonna make a nod to that.
Clap or throw it, throw it. Jesus.
Yeah. Or just go, I don't know, this.
Yeah, I think this is better than like this thing.
Yeah, this.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah.
Okay, so again, your clap.
Make it clap.
I go, throw it. Jesus.
Yeah. And then we do something.
Okay, because you can do it as you're doing here too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Coordinate all the
Yeah, that's
things.
exactly. So she's clapping, I'm going to throw it.
But they do has it there, you know, me passing the phone.
Yeah, it feels weird that it's like seeing you don't make it clap. Jesus. You gotta throw Jesus in there so it's okay.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
1.
Okay, can't play it. Let's see.
4, 1.
So are we gonna keep dancing to this song, or when does the new song come in?
It's coming up after.
It's after this. Yeah, we're doing this like breakdown.
Yeah,
Yeah, after the do
right
yeah,
after, somewhere after that. Then.
after you do
After
it.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
This side around
because-
the corner.
Throw it.
And then,
Like I'll still groove until the Jesus
yeah,
thing.
and it's right after they don't move after that. Because I feel like it's so
too
quick.
fast,
It's too
yeah.
fast, yeah.
If you're sexy and you know it, make it clap, throw it, throw it. Better thank Jesus, make it them peaches. That's essentially what the lyrics say. So we're just realizing now it says peaches.
4, good.
Better than Jesus making them peaches.
It was like, okay.
Better than
Making them peaches.
Yeah,
booty peach.
yeah, it's a booty piece.
I think we don't have to be literal with every word.
4, 2,
I'm just saying.
4.
Okay, so right now we have
Better
this.
than Jesus.
4,
Walking on beaches.
Yeah, just, yeah, walking out. Yeah. Peaches. Yeah, hey, do that. Let's see. Try. So,
Better
thank
than Jesus. Yeah, because you don't have to hold her the whole time.
yeah.
You know,
You can
just
let
a
go.
pro whammy.
Or, I don't know which one's better.
Which one's
Out
better?
or down?
Come both.
Here we go. Let's go 3 lines.
Or
And 2,
down.
3,
Down.
4,
Down.
Finish the rotation, yes.
Ready?
Okay, hold on.
Somebody go.
Yes, so this 3.
Okay, so I think now we're gonna try it to music. And if you haven't figured it out yet, I like a booty moment, whether it's like a booty shake, a booty roll, a booty swoop. I love a booty moment. Like, it's just so fun. So we like this, and we're just trying it a couple times and seeing what we want to do next. And I'm just like playing with options here, just being silly. And then Robert goes back to this behind the back idea that he was playing with earlier, but we don't end up liking that. Instead, we do another move that he and I do a lot socially, which are grapevines in a circle. I really like how those look on me. I have long legs and I kind of figure eight my hips while I do it. So I think they look good on me and I also feel good doing them. So why not? So building a routine together, like with other people, is very much a creative process. We're bouncing ideas off of each other and building it together. And sometimes our ideas are really good and sometimes they're not. So we really just try them out as they come, and we can tell pretty quickly once we do it to music whether it's a good fit or not. And Robert and I, we've danced together for many years, so we kind of know each other's style pretty well and work well together.
So we were doing that, is that what it was?
I started weird and then I was like, not on. So I guess that's because I have to get sideways. I have to face you a little bit more. So I don't know if I should start behind first or start forward first.
Which one doesn't point out? So you said you'll be.
Yeah, that
Forward.
yeah, forward.
I was thinking, because I hear that, but there's like 3 or 4 counts, and then it's that round or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
The part in between, so I like that.
Did you want to flip me? Six. I feel like you want to do that.
As a professional, it's like a, it says wave or something. Music changes.
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah. Around. Yeah, yeah.
So that part you can see we figured out really quickly. After we did the grapevines here, we figured out that duck under where Robert then catches my side, and then we hit that around piece in the song. So that all fits really well. And now we're going to move on to this piece that goes like doot, 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 doot. So I think I tell him here that I'm going to like test out some options. So there's that little bounce, doot, doot. I could bounce away and then bounce toward him. I could bounce with my shoulders, doot, doot. With the heels, doot, doot. The hands, doot, doot. So then Brigette, she says it would be cool if I got in front of him and then we kind of were opposing, so we have like a little formation there. So now we're just trying to figure out how do I get in front of him? So I guess we tried the other idea first. It's so funny watching this back. Okay, so now we're also deciding to do level change with it. Do, 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 do. So like a formation with a level change. Do, 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 do. So now how do I get into it? So we just ended with this booty roll, and then he's just gonna essentially walk me in. And then we have to decide who's going which way. Do, 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 do. And there's like a little pause there too, in between. So I remembered I had to tell Robert that because he wanted to go faster. Do, do, pause, do, do. So now that we've tried it without music, now we try it with music. And I want you to watch the end. I keep dancing after and I do like a little body roll. So essentially, I just kind of go with what I feel, and that's how a lot of these things get choreographed, where we just keep dancing, and then we're like, oh, that actually fits really well.
I think that the trouble for me maybe should be a ride.
Yeah. So can we do it again?
Okay, so here's where we're trying it to music, and we're making sure that we pause between the doot-doos, because we don't want to be early on those. So here we go, grapevine around and catch, booty, walk, walk, and doot-doo, doot-doo, body roll. And then I just stand there at attention and another hair flip. Have you been counting the hair flips? There's just so many. Okay, so now we're all talking about this booty roll, or not booty roll, body roll. Because it says something about like a bubble, and it has like a, I don't know, vibey feeling, I guess. And then Brigette suggested the ride for the part after that.
Bubbles. It says double. Bubble, bubble, you've been eating with doubles, and it's trouble me. So, I mean, after the bubble, bubble, you can set up for the ride.
So how many counts?
Bubble, bubble, you've been eating your McDoubles, I think, and then it's the ride. And it's trouble me.
Okay, from where? So,
Bubble, 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 bubble. You've been eating your McDoubles. You've been eating your McDoubles, and it's trouble
That'd be cool right there.
So I'll drop my head on trouble.
Yeah. But we're a little early, huh?
Right.
That'd be a transition right there.
Yeah, but even if we started, then the hit, you would have hit
Yeah.
How's that look, okay?
Great.
or we can delay it.
2 and
Dun,
3,
dun,
4,
dun, dun.
1.
Bubble, bubble. You've been eating your McDoubles, and it's trouble me.
Yeah, or the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we just talked about it, do you know what's next? Trying it to music. That's how it goes. Talk about it, work it out without music, then do it to music. So doot, do, doot, do, bubble something, trouble for me.
That was just fun.
We were just thinking.
Yeah. That would have worked though.
It worked?
Yeah, it would have worked.
I think it would.
Okay, do it again.
4,
The boy does
2,
the place.
3, 4.
So as you can see, our first attempt to music was quite sloppy. So we were thinking and concentrating and trying to remember all the things. So again, that's common when you're learning a new routine and you don't have muscle memory yet. Sometimes it's just messy and you gotta, go over it multiple times. So this time is a bit better.
Just a significant blink in your face between the bubble bubble and grabbing their shoulders. You just kind of blink there.
Well, yeah, because
I know, but once you get it, once you remember, it'll work out fine. Double bubble. Yeah, I would be putting her hand there as you do the double.
that's what I would do.
Yeah, as you do it, I would put your hand on her. When you do bubble bubble, put her hand where bubble bubble. Yes.
That's with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Brigette saved the day with that very helpful tip that Robert placed his hand on my shoulder right as we're ending the body roll so that we're already set up to go right into the ride. So this is what I was talking about earlier, how when you have a coach who's watching you, who's not actively dancing with you at that time, they can see the mistakes quickly. Like, we feel like we're getting it. I mean, clearly we know we're not getting it and that it's not perfect and that we're late. But even if it was something that we had, stronger and more coordinated, there are so many times where you'll feel like it's right, but as the coach or the outside observer or watching your video back later, you can see it was totally wrong. And Robert knows how to lead rides very well, and I know how to follow them, but it's just new and we're coordinating it to this music. So having that third person, that outside observer, really helps us to figure out those little pieces quicker and to resolve them and move forward. And again, here's another one. So we were more focused on the connection and getting into the ride and being on time with the ride. So I wasn't focused on anything else about my body. So Brigette suggested that I drop my head further so I can get under Robert's arm easier. And then she's also suggesting that I go lower in the leg instead of saying more straight. So here I'm bending into the knee and working to pull back away from him. I'm not fully doing that because I'm so focused on bending the knee. I feel the need to look down. Another common issue when learning new dance things, dancers often look down because we tend to look down when we're concentrating, or maybe also to look down at like your legs or your feet. So you can see in that ride, I'm not fully having my head weight back, which is where it should be. It should be kind of up and back a little bit, countering my hip weight. So you'll see that here shortly. But again, we're just kind of reviewing, going over what we've done up until now. I'm not sure if this was to music. It looks like it might be. So we're doing that. Doot, do, doot, do, double bubble. So I'm bending down. See, my head's kind of in towards him, which I fixed that later. But all these little pieces we kind of keep adding and fine-tuning as we go. And this routine we worked on all year. I think we started choreographing in at the end of March, and then competed through December with it, and worked on it every week, making these little details better and better. But this is only, I think, week 2 or 3. So yeah, I feel like we made a lot of progress really quickly. And the three of us, we all really like how the routine is coming together so far, and it fits with the music. So the music isn't fully cut, so we just danced it up to that point. So now Brigette has to scroll to the next part of the song for us to finish, practicing it to music. This is the throw it back part, Jesus, peaches. And it's nice having those key words, like we use those to, remind each other of what's next. Here's that doot, do, doot, do, body roll, ride, and then the hair flip.
Okay. Well, and it's not connected, so I'd have to stop it.
I
Yeah.
know, so.
So I think it needs a little more of it. And I have a centimeter finally.
Yeah, most of ours up there have centimeters, and if it's silly tape, it's centimeters on one side of each on the other.
Oh, yeah, they're there.
But in most cases, teaching you the time. I think I'm gonna have to get one, and the only reason I'm gonna have to get one is because I put my nail in
I think it takes it back to like my Roomba can't use up. And it's a good routine. You mean, Barbara?
well, I have to go down and say it's strong, and then you need to
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna dance it one last time to music before the session ends. And you're gonna see here too, after the Elvis Presley knees, I do a double spin, which I had been feeling like I should do from the last session, but forgot to tell Robert and almost crashed into him. Anyway, we're just practicing to music. We do this every session where we walk it in the beginning, we practice to music in the beginning, make sure we remember where we're at, and then we also end the session that way too, again, to make sure we're on the same page and we remembered everything. And then that also gives us an opportunity to film the routine like in full where we ended that session. So then it's easier to start the next session because we can see what we did at the last session. And since the music isn't cut, that's why we're kind of stopping here and restarting for that, the last section of this part of the song. So essentially, the key was to be on time, to make sure we know our steps, where are we going, and then we fine tune like the technique and the details and styling and facial expression. That all comes later.
Yeah, it's got a lot of potential. I think it's fun.
It is fun. Well, that's it for day 2 of choreography. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and talking dance. I love to talk dance. It's one of my favorites, one of my favorite topics. So if you could like, subscribe, leave a comment, that would be wonderful. I would really appreciate your support. My goal is to grow the channel, so any of those would be greatly appreciated. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.